to watch, but they're still playing hard. They still believe in what Brent Pry is selling.
Well, and I think that you're going to find this guy surface out of the fire a stronger individual, stronger football team in Blacksburg. And he's going to be a big reason why, because he's going to fight him through this. Has a tremendous, talk about reverence for Elko and Cutcliffe. He has one for Bud Foster. So do I.
Kyle Lowe puts his foot into the football. Hokies won the toss and deferred, and a tremendous job in kickoff coverage there as the Hokies get down the field and stonewall the Duke return team. 9-yard return. It'll be Duke ball at the 12-yard line for Riley Leonard. What a revelation he's been. His only start as a freshman last year was against Virginia Tech. And as we asked his offensive coordinator, Kevin Johns, yesterday, he said, yeah, it didn't go well. Didn't go back and watch that film. We're focused on the future. And the film from this year has been pretty darn impressive.
It really has. We'll continue to talk about him throughout and some of the things that they've worked on. But number one is his footwork has incredibly improved over last season.
After the short kickoff return from John Tavis Robertson, it's Duke from its own 12-yard line. 5 wide receivers. Leonard going deep. Open man. Overthrown. Jalen Calhoun was oh so close to a huge opening play.
Yeah, went to an empty set, got the back out of the backfield, and then all of a sudden wheel route down the left sideline. Excellent read, excellent protection to give him a chance to wait for this one to develop. And oh, that was going to be one that you go back in the film room tomorrow. He's going to want that one back. That's a touchdown on the first play.
Calhoun had Armani Chapman burned in coverage. Much tighter formation on 2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the left. Jordan Waters in the backfield to the right of Leonard. Plenty of time. Leonard has this in his tool bag. Pretty good closing speed from the junior backer, Keontae Jenkins.
Yeah, excellent job of Jenkins. Toyota, Shamir Hagan's the outstanding receiver. He's a big play guy. This team's going to play a lot of man coverage. Look for him to use that speed and get deep. And Tywan Garbutt up front, he's been a man-child when it comes to getting after the passer. 4.5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. He is a monster on that edge, and he'll defend some of this zone read running game.
Another veteran, 48th career game for Garbutt. On 3rd and 5, Duke goes incomplete to the near side wideout. Man, Mansour Delane there in coverage, and the Blue Devils go 3-and-out.
Yeah, a team that's run the ball, Evan, with great success this year. 3rd in the conference in rushing the football. Comes out and throws 3 straight downs, 3-and-out, and now the Hokies with an opportunity with a short field.
Well, the Hokies punt return team had some fun last week against Georgia Tech. The true freshman, Tucker Holloway. ACC, oh, this pit punt was shanked. Holloway's not going to get a chance. It took a fortunate bounce to pick up about 5-6 extra yards, but Virginia Tech will have possession at their own 45-yard line after what turned out to be a 38-yard punt. That was the ugliest 38-yard punt I've seen in a long time.
Well, you got it going, kind of bounce in the right direction, right? But that's what they needed. They needed a big punt there, backed up like that. Now Virginia Tech, as I mentioned, with a short field. And here's Grant Wells. Wells is a transfer from Marshall, has come in and done some good things. He's also been on the run a good bit when it comes to some of his protection. But Wells is a guy that can beat you both throwing and running.
His 33rd career start, including his time at Marshall. And he zips it out to the right side. Short completion. Keyshawn King picks up just a couple yards on 1st down. Impact Players brought to you by your local Toyota dealers.
Way to stop Virginia Tech's on offense, Keyshawn King, and he's going to have to affect the game a number of ways. Running the football, certainly, but he's an outstanding receiver out of the backfield. And certainly on the defensive side, Darius Joyner, another transfer. Young man comes in from Western Illinois. He's the leading tackler on this team from the safety spot.
Blue Devils certainly struck gold in the portal. Deep ball down the sideline. DeJuan Lofton, touchdown, Virginia Tech. 53 yards and the Hokies strike first.
Boy, Wells shows off tremendous arm strength here. I thought Evan, he'd waited too long to let it go. See, he looks right, and then he comes back left, got the go route down the left sideline. And DeJuan Lofton is able to track that ball coming down with the defender closing on him. Does an excellent job of squeezing the football as the defender arrived.
9 touchdown pass of the season for Grant Wells. An explosive start, and there's an injured Blue Devil back behind the play, and that's the two-time captain, force of personality on the D-line, Dwayne Carter. Good to see him walking off. That's certainly a scary sight for Duke fans. He is key to this defense.
Yeah, no question about it. The guy leads the team in sacks from that interior defensive line spot, and a big part of helping getting the run game stopped. Hopefully he can get back in the football game.
John Love is going to do the field goal kicking today for Virginia Tech. Will Ross had a PAT block last week, missed a key 40-yarder early in the fourth, so it's Love, the freshman from Spartanburg, and his first PAT looks pretty smooth. 7-0. The Hokies won the toss, deferred, get a 3 and out, and then dial up the deep ball. A perfect start for Virginia Tech here at Duke.
Field, and then Wells makes a monster throw for the touchdown, and all of a sudden the Hokies find themselves ahead, and we're barely into the football game.
Kyle Lowe doing the field goal kicking, and this will go over Robertson's head, and it'll be a touchback. And well, Duke started their first possession from the 12. They'll be at the 25 here to begin their second trip on the field for Riley Leonard.
No, and you can bet you're going to see some of the Duke running game here. They came out hoping to make a play similar to what Grant Wells just made. They had an opportunity, had a man open, and Riley Leonard just wrong with the throw. I would think they'd get back to maybe some of their bulk running attack here against Virginia Tech, test that run defense.
Number 2 in the ACC running the ball, 208 yards per game. 3rd in the league in time of possession, but unless this is a QB draw, Dave, nobody with Leonard in the backfield, and he's going to throw for the 4th straight play, and he's got his first completion.
Now there's that guy that Rebecca told us about, and that's Dax Hollifield. He's going to be all over the field, sideline to sideline. She mentioned a tackling machine. That's exactly what he is. He was on that play there. If they play zone, those short underneath throws, he's going to have to make a lot of plays. He's very capable.
6 yards for Jalen Calhoun. One of the top targets for Riley Leonard. Waters will block. Leonard connects. Jordan Moore with a flag down. Moore near midfield. Flag right back near the line of scrimmage.
An eligible receiver downfield, offense number 68. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's a center, Jack Burns.
Yeah, I didn't think that this was a hard RPO. Was it a play fake? Let's take a look. Just a flat. It wasn't even. He's kind of a flash play fake. Here he is, right here in the middle of the field, right down the field in play. And yeah, they'll give you a little bit of a grace. They'll give you about 3 yards, but I think he was out on the pass route there.
He didn't really need to attack the linebacker the way he did. Maybe he was trying to sell the run, but yeah, that was a penalty. So take away the 6-yard gain. And on 2nd down, Leonard again throws incomplete, looking for Calhoun. Chapman in coverage.
Yeah, Monty Chapman, really good job of just kind of staying in the hip pocket of Calhoun here. A little flash play fake, kind of throw the ball behind the linebackers here. But just as the ball arrives, so does Chapman. Good rake out here. This is a little bit more of the signature Virginia Tech defense, playing man coverage, challenging you. Nice play by Chapman.
The head coach can change, but the Hokies defense feels like it stays pretty similar, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
On 3rd and 9, Leonard to his right, tucks and runs. Beats Hollifield around the corner and picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, a lot of what Riley Leonard brings to the table, I think, is kind of unknown to a lot of these teams, because this kid's a very good athlete and has much more speed than you think he does. Hollifield is a victim there. He had a 60-yard touchdown run a week ago against the BC defense that looked like they had angles all throughout the run, yet he ended up with a touchdown. He leads the team in rushing. He's 5th as we mentioned, off the top in the ACC in rushing.
His offensive coordinator said he's wired like a linebacker. He wants to get hit. But you don't always hear that from a quarterback. Leonard again flushed to his right and ushered to the sideline by Virginia Tech's Kelly Lawson, the redshirt freshman who's really come on strong the past couple of weeks. Had a big 6 against the Yellow Jackets last Saturday.
Excellent job in the back end for the Hokie defense. That was one where they did not get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and then ultimately Leonard was able to buy time and get out. And a really good job by the Hokies in the back end to plaster cover and make him tuck and run.
A lot of action. Just 4 minutes of football. Second down for the Blue Devils in the first design running play, and it goes nowhere into the bulk of that Virginia Tech defensive front.
I think there's a tremendous amount of respect Duke has for this group in trying to get after the run. Their numbers might not indicate that, but they're rough customers when it comes to the interior defensive linemen, Kendricks and Pollard. We mentioned Garbutt and our key players to watch. And Hollifield, Jenkins, and Tisdale, all good linebackers that can run and hit.
Jaquez Moore averaging nearly 7 yards a carry, but only 2 yards there. 3rd and 7. Leonard with time, incomplete to the feet of Samir Hagans.
Again, good coverage down the field. Leonard a little dejected coming off. Think he should have probably turned his ball loose a little earlier. See him shaking his head. Didn't like the throw. Hagans is another guy we talked about as a potential key player. Great speed does Hagans have, but a good job by Virginia Tech to be in his hip pocket. Not really a big play attached to that one, but a poor throw by Leonard.
Well, last week, Tucker Holloway was not wearing number 25, but doesn't it feel fitting that he's wearing the Frank Beamer 25 jersey this week? Holloway calls for the fair catch, and he'll make that grab at the 17-yard line. So Duke picks up 1 first down on its second possession, but it's the Hokies still up 7-0. 5 minutes gone in the first.
Outstanding quarterback for Dave Durham.
Wells back to the air, zips it to Caleb Smith. That was a dart. And a big play to start this drive, 22 yards.
Boy, Wells off to an excellent start. Hit the big shot down the field. This is a big-time throw on the bang-it post right there. A little flash play fake. An excellent throw on the upfield shoulder. No way the defender could get in there.
Wells 3 for 3, 77 yards and counting. Out of the pocket, and he'll throw it into the Duke sideline. Nice catch made over there by one of the backup Duke receivers. Excited to touch the football.
Some of the veteran leadership that Wells brings to the table. Though he's thrown 8 interceptions on the year. Great decision there. Knows he's got a good field position situation. Let's reload on 2nd and 10.
Hokies riding a 6-game losing streak for the first time since 1987. Dave, they have not lost 7 in a row since 1951. Wells steps up, hits his open dump man, Dwan Lofton, and that will move the chains. Sometimes you don't need to be fancy, just take what's there.
Yeah, Lofton does a good job here too. He's kind of the flare control, and/or as you mentioned, Evan, check down for him. Even though he's at the receiver spot, he kind of waited for things to clear out and then ran that little shallow drag. Good job by Wells to climb in the pocket and find his receiver.
There's the numbers for Lofton this season. His numbers last week were not what you want from a wideout. Short carry for Keyshawn King. A week ago, Dave, Lofton is a wide receiver. Didn't have a catch, but he recovered a fumble and made a tackle. Just not what you're looking for.
Those are not the numbers you want to get on the stat sheet with if you're a wide receiver, no question. Well, he's erased that pretty quickly here today.
53-yard touchdown along with a short, well, not quite so short, it's 12 yards to move the chains. On 2nd down, through Lofton's hands, a little bit high on the throw from Grant Wells.
Well, we saw the Wells arm strength, and this one he heated up and probably didn't need to. He's got Lofton working back on the curl route, and he has him pretty clean. Probably could have taken a little bit off of that one and just coaxed his receiver back down the route there, but just kind of heated it up overthrowing. So a blown opportunity there.
Lofton to the sideline for this third down play.
Duke showing a pressure look. Man across the board. Let's get a check from the sideline here.
Single high safety, Darius Joyner. Short pass to the flat. It'll be shy of the first down. Complete. But Stinson there to make the stop.
Yeah, good job there by defensive coordinator Rob Smith. He's going to show a pressure look, and then they're going to back out and actually only rush 3. Good job by Stinson. He kind of was part of that group up around the line of scrimmage, backs out, and then he tracks the tight end to the sideline and bumps him out of the bounds to force the fourth down and the punt.
Jalen Calhoun, 4th and 5 from the 43, and the punt team with Pete Moore is out there to send it away. Playing the field position game. But this is only going to be a net of 23 as the punt trickles into the end zone.
Yeah, that irritates the coach right there now. You want the pooch punt, drop it on the 10, kick it in the end zone. That's what we're looking for.
Well, you think about last week, obviously a roller coaster of a game for the Hokies, but they were down 10-0, and I really thought it was them downing the punt at the 1-yard line that swung the whole momentum of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Those kind of special teams plays where you create the long field situation can flip the tide. That's the third phase of the game you're looking for to kick in to help you win a football game.
Third possession for the Blue Devils. Leonard so far just 1 for 5 for 6 yards. He has run the ball 3 times for 19. Nothing doing for Jalen Coleman. And we'll pause for a quick message from Works Nitro.
Meet Works Nitro. Powerful.
Good to see him on the field because he hasn't played their last 4 games, so nice to have him back.
Yeah, it's a good running back room, too. They've got a number of guys that contributed.
Leonard, play action, completes it. Higgins, first down. Out across the 35.
Yeah, here's our impact player for you. Higgins, the big play receiver. Great speed on the outside. Again, every team has this. We've seen both run it in this game. The flash play fake with the slant in behind. Higgins does a good job of getting inside the corner and giving his numbers to the quarterback.
Good matchup at the bottom of your screen. Jordan Moore and Mansour Delane. Leonard gives it to Coleman. And another 2 yards for Jalen Coleman, who got hurt at the end of the Virginia game. He had a great game against the Wahoos. 96 yards, the season best. This Duke running back room, as you said, Dave, just they've got depth. They've got a lot of guys that have produced scores and yards all season long.
Yeah, 4 rushing touchdowns in each of their last 3 games. They've hurt people in the run game.
4 different players with at least 4 rushing TDs. First time that's happened at Duke since 1948. On 2nd and down, a short completion across the middle. The tight end, Nicky Dalmolin.
Yeah, excellent pressure by Virginia Tech. You don't necessarily have to get home, but did a good job of forcing the throw underneath. A good catch by Dalman, the tight end, but Dalmolin. But for a minimal gain, and so you force what you want here is you got a 3rd, and I guess this would consider long, 3rd and 7 now for the Hokie defense.
Virginia Tech just brought in basically a whole fresh bunch of defensive linemen. Leonard on target. First down for Jalen Calhoun into Hokie territory to the 45-yard line.
Just don't get enough width. Kelly Lawson, the freshman, to the play side here. The linebacker, number 43, is not going to get enough width and not take away that outside route. Good read and patience by Riley Leonard. Leonard could have tried to push that ball into coverage. He didn't. He waited for the coverage to develop. He had Calhoun along the sideline and was able to put it on him. I'm impressed with the young quarterback.
For that catch, Jalen Calhoun just went over 2,000 yards for his career. 11th Blue Devil in program history to reach that mark. First down, Leonard long completes it. Calhoun adds to that yardage total and sets up a trip to the red zone here for Duke.
Evan, this play took a long time. Calhoun was lined up to Riley Leonard's right side. He has to work all the way across. Look how many Hokies he runs by to get where he needs to be. And that's clear on the other side of the field. Excellent protection up front. And a really well-thrown touch pass by Riley Leonard pushes this ball inside the red zone.
Leonard on his first 8 throws of the game had just 25 yards. Or excuse me, 37 yards. Goes to 31 on that play. First down to the 13. It's Waters. No gain.
Yeah, completely shift gears there defensively.
Holyfield with another stop. Into the red zone, brought to you by CPI Security.
Played man coverage on that, or played zone coverage with 8 dropped in on that last, on the deep throw. That time 0 coverage. Everybody up playing man across the board. Got a good stop on first down against the run.
Hokies scored first. Blue Devils looking to answer. Waters again. No gain again. 3rd and 10.
Doing a good job of playing the zone read. They know that Riley Leonard is a problem if he gets to the perimeter. But Duke's doing a good job of defending both Waters on that play and Leonard in this zone read. This is where a quarterback like Leonard, Evan, it could be a major problem because of his ability to pull it down and take off. You got to account for him. You want to play man down, you're going to get account for the quarterback.
Holyfield, you can bet, going to keep his eyes on Leonard. Moving to his right. Leonard tucks and runs, and it will be 4th down. Good discipline there from the Virginia Tech defense. C.J. McCray there to bring down Leonard along with Kelly Lawson.
And you mentioned Holyfield. Holyfield, watch number 4 in the middle of your screen. Now, he could immediately come to the court. He doesn't. He takes Waters away. The throw he wants to make, Waters drifting in behind. He took that throw away. The other Hokies rallied to make the play. Excellent job. You mentioned discipline there. That's exactly what that was. Good job by Dax Holyfield, the leader of this defense.
Charlie Ham remains unavailable because of a personal issue, so it's Todd Polino doing the place kicking, and he's 3 for 3. Knocks through a 25-yarder to get Duke on the board. Timeout with 2:04 left in the first. Mike Elko's team looking for win number 7 against Virginia Tech. And how can I help the team? And you can imagine how much he's grown from September to now as a receiver.
It's so cool, the friendship that those two guys struck up. They could have very much been enemies. They're not. They're guys that are fighting to win games for Duke.
That field goal kick sails out of bounds off the foot of Todd Polino.
Yeah, Mike Elko is not playing. I talk about special teams. You mentioned it, Evan. How can you affect the game in a positive way? And that's not one of them. You can't kick the ball out of bounds. So Mike Elko not overly excited about that, and rightly so.
You're a kicker. Do you just try to avoid eye contact with the head coach?
Yeah, well, you saw where he went. He went off the end of the bench down there, just barely onto the bench area. So, and I'm sure Mike's okay with him standing down there for a little while.
Drop play. And it's Chance Black, the redshirt freshman from South Carolina, that picks up 4. Possession begins at the 35 because of the kickoff out of bounds.
Both these teams will play a lot of running backs. Black has 38 carries on the year.
Wells under pressure and gets rid of it. Brandon Johnson, the nickel backer, into the backfield that time, forcing Wells to just throw it away.
Yeah, really good job here by Rob Smith to dial up some kind of pressure, and this time it comes from that extra safety. Duke fans have been used to seeing those 3 safeties for a long, long time. Jim Knowles brought it here, who's now the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. Before that, Oklahoma State, they're a problem. Those guys can run and cover.
Hokies 0 for 1 on 3rd down. Jalen Holston into the game alongside Wells in the backfield. Wells under pressure, and he completes it. and it'll be spotted a yard shy of the first down. Heck of an effort by Holston. Look for a second like he may land on the tackler, stay up and get the first, but he's a yard shy, and here comes the punt team.
Good pressure. R.J. Oben gets pressure in the face of Wells here. You'll see 94 get to the inside, and he gets in the face of the quarterback. Now Holston runs the angle route to the inside, and a good play by Freeman, the freshman. Trey Freeman had to kind of hold on. Holston, that's a big running back at 215 pounds. He was able to hang on to him and get him down.
Holston landed on Joyner, which allowed him to get an extra yard or two, but 1 yard shy. So Peter Moore on the punt for the second time. Calhoun lets it sail over his head, and it will land in the end zone. So that's 2 touchbacks for Peter Moore. Entered the season with just 2 touchbacks and 60 punts. Entered the game, I should say. 42 seconds left here in the first.
A good drive last time Duke had the football, just did not pay it off. And that's a big part of this operation, is how can you finish in the red zone? Duke has struggled in the red zone this year when it comes to fit.
Riley Leonard 4 for 4 on his last drive. Jaquez Moore in the backfield. Duke from the 20, and it's Moore to the 25.
Yeah, best run of the day here for Duke. Been running the zone read this time and running the ball between the tackles. This time they get to the edge. Little pin and pull play here. Really good job of getting to the edge, and now that's the kind of running game that we had talked about that Virginia Tech was going to have to defend and try to stay.
Of Duke, the score in favor of Virginia Tech. Second quarter begins with a 2nd down and 5 from the Duke 25. Evan Lepler, Dave Archer, Rebecca Fiorentino here in Durham, and a big hole for Jordan Waters. And a first down and a pickup of 10 to start the second.
Boy, excellent patience by Waters here. You're going to see him hesitate and kind of wait. And a lot of times you got to press it and then slide to daylight, which is exactly what he does. Good block on Tisdale, the linebacker, and you're up the field. Got a good block also on Jalen Griffin, the defensive end on that side, but good patience by Jordan Waters.
Should mention there's a big change to the Duke offensive line today with Captain Jacob Monk suffering an injury to end his season last week. Waters again, heck of a stiff arm on Hollifield. He's inbounds with a flag in the air. Waters down the sideline all the way, and we'll check the marker. If it stands, it's a 65-yard touchdown for Waters.
Boy, with a big-time stiff arm in the front half of that run by Waters on Dax Hollifield.
Taiwan Garbett is injured for Virginia Tech, down in the field getting looked at by the medical staff.
During the run, holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it's coming back. Elko wants to know what number.
See if we can find the little pin and pull here. Pin down, pulled it backside lineman. Good kick out block there. Here's the stiff arm on Hollifield. Looked like the wide receiver 85 Higgins was the guy that I think got flagged there on the call.
That's what I saw as well.
Taiwan Garbett, we talked about him as an impact player. Can ill afford to use the big defensive end, the veteran. Looks like he's getting
holding penalty on number 85 offense.
So there you go. Higgins trying to block downfield, and that's the problem for receivers, is trying to hold your blocks, no pun intended, without holding, obviously.
Interesting thing, the block was ruled to be 10 yards downfield. So the block came on a 1st and 10. It'll be 1st and 10 again.
Yeah, you gained the first down, but then they mark you back with the penalty, right?
I think you repeat the down, but it doesn't really matter with the way it worked out. The holding penalty was 9 yards downfield. I think it'd be 1st and 11. Anyway, Leonard back to the air, and Calhoun lays out to make the catch, picks up 4.
And we talked about, Riley Leonard off the top and how where he's come as a player. Fun to talk to him, but he talked about how his offensive coordinator Kevin Johns helped him with technique, footwork, where he's supposed to be in the run game, how to read stuff. But then it's been Mike Elko that's helped him with the big picture stuff, managing the game, understanding down and distance. It was fun to hear him talk about how those two coaches have affected him so far this year.
Leonard almost collides with his running back, Jaquez Moore. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Chamari Connor in there. Let's go down to Rebecca on the sidelines for more on Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard got his first career start against Virginia Tech a year ago at Virginia Tech. He's had this game circled on his calendar for a while. He remembers that game. He wants redemption, but he's moved on. He's a completely different player, specifically in his preparation coming into the game.
7 for 16, 84 yards.
If he remembers the game, he hasn't moved on. So if he wants redemption, he certainly, and that's pretty cool, and that's exactly what he told us yesterday.
3rd and 6, Leonard running for it. And I think he's got it. Needed to get to the 45, and that's right where he is, and the line judge says first down.
Yeah, good solid run. And here, think about him making a decision here to run. He can run to daylight to the right, but he understands I need a first down. So he goes and gets the first down. He had room to the right to potentially skate out, but he also had the potential to get tackled short of the first down. He made a good decision there to go north and south to get his team another set of downs.
5 carries, now 30 yards for Leonard. He's 6 of 10 passing for 72. Looking long again. Beautiful throw. Calhoun makes a man miss. He beat Connor down the sideline and sets up 1st and 10 from inside the red zone.
Well, what was it Riley Leonard said about Calhoun yesterday? I asked him about his receivers, and they all have special talent. He said that Calhoun is the best route runner he's seen, and that would show it right there. He got Connor to fight to the inside on the post, and then Bennett outside, and hey, how about the catch after the run for Calhoun? Excellent job there, but Riley Leonard talked about how Calhoun is the best route runner he's ever seen, and boy, he showed it right there.
35 yards for Calhoun. He's got 94 yards receiving in the first 19 minutes today. Back to the ground. It's Jalen Coleman.
Wow. How about the patience there, Evan? Just you love the way, if you're playing on the other team's side of the line of scrimmage, which Duke's O-line is starting to do now, is the patience of the back. Just an excellent job there by Coleman to wait, buy time, and then slip it up there for 5.
Back inside the red zone, brought to you by CPI Security. Duke Blue Devils, second trip to the red zone to kick the field goal from 25 yards out last possession.
Got man coverage outside at the top of the screen, one-on-one.
Leonard instead goes to the bottom of the screen, and it's intercepted. Mansour Delane looked like he was the intended target. It's his first career pick.
Trying to get to Bowen Sims, I think, trying to throw back shoulder here, but really played well. He just kind of, Mansour Delane, the freshman, just kind of camped on that back shoulder, and when the head of the receiver came around, he swiveled his head around. Excellent play by the young guy.
Got to address that turnover margin graphic, huh? Rare mistake from Riley Leonard and the Duke offense. Deep into Hokie territory. Leonard had marched him down, but then a bad throw. Virginia Tech gets the stop.
Warrior 1.
His first career start just a couple of weeks ago, and NC State played every snap in that game. There's been good and bad, as you'd expect from a young freshman, but heck of a play there.
Yeah, it's a back shoulder throw that Riley Leonard's trying to make, but a really good job by Delane to get his head around and track the football. That's the toughest part for a receiver on those back shoulders. A lot of times their backs are turned, but the youngster did a really good job with his technique there, got his head around, and then the second part of that is to secure the ball and get the takeaway. He did it all.
They begin from the 2-yard line after the pick, and might have lost a yard on that first play. Just the 7th turnover that the Virginia Tech defense has forced all season long. The 4th interception.
And give Virginia Tech's defense a big pat on the back now. That's 2 red zone stops they've come up with, keeping Duke out of the end zone.
Second and about 10 and a half. Keep it on the ground and maybe get it out to the 3.
Duke really crowded the line of scrimmage against the run game. Obviously, the Hokies trying to pound it out, give themselves a little bit of room here. See if they're willing. Tyler Bowen's willing to set up his senior quarterback and let him throw it out of the end zone.
Holston for none on first down. Wells keeps it himself for 1 on second down. Tight bunch formation again. Up the middle, Holston. A little breathing room, but that was to set up the punt.
Yeah, and a good job by Duke realizing, okay, the ebb and flow of the game, yes, we just turned it over. If we can get a stop down here, if you're Duke, then you get an opportunity to get a short field situation, which is exactly what they did against the run game there.
Calhoun back, standing around midfield at his own 48-47. I'd be very surprised if Peter Moore has another touchback here, Dave.
He does. It's a problem.
Pretty good kick.
Though. Yeah.
Calhoun back to his own 38, but he's got room to midfield into Hokie territory. 22-yard return for Calhoun to set up Duke in pretty good field position.
Now, we got what you wanted out of your special teams. Got a good return there by Calhoun and a short field situation for the Blue Devils.
Jalen Calhoun's had one special career, his 45th game today at Duke. Coach, men's basketball at the same time. Here at Duke. Blue Devils had 2 trips to the red zone. They had a 65-yard touchdown run called back because of a hold. Now they have their best field position of the day. Leonard sees the pressure, creates time, and hits the official on the sideline. Incomplete.
Well, good job by the Hokies there to force the issue now. The center field is starting to get vacated. They're playing a lot of man coverage on the perimeter, and they're getting safeties involved in both the blitz game and the run game. That time, Keontae Jenkins, number 7, the linebacker, stayed at home, did not allow the young quarterback to get outside the pocket, and forced him to throw it away. Good decision by Riley Leonard, but a good job by Duke to force a poor play.
Leonard now 7 of 13. Up the middle goes Coleman. Close to the 35. It'll be spotted at the 36. So 3rd down and 6 yards here for Duke. Blue Devils 3 for 6 on 3rd downs.
And we talked to Kevin Johns, the offensive coordinator for Duke, and asked him about this running back room. They've got a number of guys they play, as does Virginia Tech, but he says, well, you know, Jordan Waters is our starter, but then we kind of ride the hot hand. There's Kevin. Does an excellent job. Done a great job with his young quarterback, but he's got a bunch of guys that can run the rock.
Keep it on the ground on 3rd and down. Almost the type of play to set up a 4th down go. Todd Polino's career-long field goal is 39.
Well, Duke 9 of 16 on the year on 3rd down. Much more of this now when you start talking about it going for it on 4th down. The analytics say that when you short field like this, punting, you can punt it in the end zone. You don't net much out of that. So essentially, if you punt it in the end zone, you're going to only net 22 here. So they're going to go here on 4th down. A lot of teams looking at that analytic as to how that plays out and what's the differential between the two. Duke will go here.
4th and 7. Blue Devils need the 30. With the sun shining, Leonard zips it downfield and hits John Tavis Robertson, coming back to the football to move the chains.
Yeah, just way too hard for Virginia Tech in the back end to hang on from a coverage standpoint. Just no pressure on the young quarterback. You see it's a kind of a mush rush with 3. Really good job of presenting himself to the quarterback and working back to him, giving him somewhere to throw the football with Robertson. But again, the young quarterback buying time, just sliding to his left, keeping himself in a good throwing position. Robertson comes back and helps his QB out.
Needed 7, got 13. 10th catch of the year for Robertson. At the 24-yard line, Leonard looking long, on target. Touchdown Duke. Nicky Dalmolin with his 4th of the year as the Blue Devils take the lead.
Boy, the official took a long look at this one, too, because this was a bang-bang play. Waited for Dalmolin to come across the formation on that over route. Virginia Tech loses him in coverage, or he's actually run a little corner route. Watch at the back end of this. Watch the official look. He kind of bobbled it just a little bit. See the official look at him, and then he kind of reluctantly says, okay, touchdown.
There was the bobble. His step into the end zone, he landed out of bounds, but he had possession. Polino tacks on the extra point, and that's 10 straight for Duke. 12th touchdown pass of the year for Riley Leonard as he finds his tight end, big number 81. Play the fight song. Touchdown of the season. Check out this play. 24 yards out.
Surprised they didn't take a look at this. There's the bobble. And there's the foot coming down. So was the left foot down when he secured it, because the right foot down, because the left foot is out of bounds?
Reasonable question, but we move on.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that was close enough where you'd think they'd buzz down and take a look at it, but they were satisfied. So we were satisfied too, Evan.
Satisfying finish to the drive for Riley Leonard. He's got 3 passes of over 20 yards in this game, and now 31 passes of at least 20 yards on the season.
Yeah, they came in with 41 plays of 20 yards or more. And those explosives, man, make it easier from a play caller standpoint. You don't have to grind down the field. Get some explosives and shorten the possession.
It was an explosive start for Grant Wells and the Hokie offense on their first drive, but we haven't seen much since. Wells keeps it himself, wrapped up by Jamion Franklin after a pickup of just 1.
Yeah, that was an option to throw the wide screen or to run it, and Duke did a really good job of taking away the quick screen to the outside. So, and no one was able to block that edge defender.
Hokies 55 yards on that first 2-play drive, 54 yards since the last 13 plays.
Duke's done a nice job of showing zone here. A nice job at snuffing out the run game.
Wells hits the crosser. Well covered, though, by Duke's defense. Jade and blue to the 30, and it'll be 3rd down. We'll get to that in a moment. First, a quick message from Green Machine.
With our 62-volt battery-powered blower,
spotted the ball out near the 32. So it's 3rd and about 3. Hokies 0 for 3 on 3rd downs. Make it 0 for 4. The pressure gets to Wells. Brandon Johnson, his 4th sack of the season.
Well, good disguise here by Brandon Johnson and the Duke defense. The Rob Smith dialed one up here. The formation, they motioned across. He didn't go with him. That's got to be a little bit of a red flag for you, that he didn't run with the guy that looked like he was covering man coverage. And he starts creeping up to the line of scrimmage, and they never really were able to sort out who was coming and who wasn't. And Johnson comes clean through that B gap and is all over Wells.
8 up the running back, Keyshawn King, and Wells just kind of went down. Calhoun standing back at his own 30. Duke's coming after this kick. Duke's coming after this kick, but Moore gets it away. High punt, shorter than the last one, and takes a Duke bounce. Knocked out of bounds right near the 44-yard line. Mike Elko, known for his defense, brings in Rob Smith to coordinate the crew, and Brandon Johnson picks up the sack.
Explosiveness. It may be that Ben Pry says, hey, wait a minute, let's make sure we take care of you and make sure we get you coming back for 4 more years.
There's a family connection in the recruiting process. Brent Pry, Coach Tucker's uncle Brandon at Western Carolina back in the day. Back to Duke on offense, and Leonard throws it to the man who hurdles the defender, Jontavis Robinson, climbing the stairs.
A good read, first of all, by Robinson. Gets in the middle of the field. Look at him hook it up right there in the zone coverage, and now he's going to say, okay, let's go over the top. Wow. that doesn't normally turn out very good, and it almost ended up badly for Robertson. He might want to rethink that one, but an excellent job of finding the hole in the zone, and he and his quarterback were on the same page.
Riley Leonard tried to do that a couple times earlier in the season, nearly giving the coaching staff a heart attack.
Yeah, having done that a couple times, I wouldn't advise that. I tried to do that a couple times. Ill-advised.
Did you get over the defender you were trying to hurdle?
No, I ended up getting looped up on top of my head and ended up feeling really bad till about Thursday the following week.
Sounds about right. Oh, big hit there. Chamari Connor comes up and lays the smack.
Yeah, this might be... You get concerned here now for certainly the offensive player, but Connor obviously now the targeting issue. Let's see what we get here. No flag initially.
Can't even really see the contact from that angle. Connor was coming full speed, and I think it was a clean hit near the midsection.
Well, I think he gets him kind of up high, but we'll have to wait and see. Connor is a huge piece of the Virginia Tech defense now. See if we can see it again here. Let's see where the contact is. And that's so hard for the defender because you just had another defender hit him from behind, more behind, and kind of lowered him, and it's really difficult for the defender to kind of adjust. But really I haven't seen any buzz down or any conversation about it. Let's just hope that main thing is that Jacquez Moore is okay. Moore had a monster day last weekend, 82 yards rushing and had 2 touchdowns in that game against Boston College.
It's currently second in the league in yards per carry, 6.8 yards per tote. Riley Leonard, Dave, started 1 for 6. He's 10 of his last 12 since then.
Yeah, he got in a rhythm. You know, obviously missed those first 3 throws as they came out of the box slinging it, but the youngsters settled in, and I'm sure he's the first guy in line to say we need to make sure that Jacquez Moore gets back in the game. He can use his help.
2nd and 7. Clouds covering the sun again, and a big hole for Jordan Waters. He'll get 6, and it'll be 3rd and 1. Alan Tisdale with the stop, and goodness, it's great to see Tisdale back out there. Heartbreaking what happened. He came to his coach, said, I think I may have broken an NCAA rule. He bet a small amount of money on an NBA Finals game. Great story by Andy Bitter on The Athletic this past week, and just doesn't seem just to lose half your senior season for doing something that's legal.
Yeah, he had a heck of a year last year, 84 tackles a year ago with 13 starts, a big part of Brent Pry's defense.
Brent Price did a great job on scout team when he was out. On 3rd and 1, it's Waters to pick up the first.
Well, we talked about this Duke running game, and it was going to be a part of that Virginia Tech had to take away. You knew that Riley Leonard was going to try to make some plays in the passing game, but you can't give him a two-way go. Pin and pull, meaning you pin down and you pull the backside tackle or guard, and then you get in behind that. And these Duke running backs are showing great patience. Waters in the last 2 runs in particular. And again, that helps when you play on the other team's side of the line of scrimmage. There's some push, and you can wait and slide, and he's doing a great job of it.
Clock ticking, under 2 minutes to play, first half. Hokies struck about a minute and a half into the game, led 7-0. Duke has scored 10 straight since and looking for more. No gain for Waters. In fact, he lost a yard there. Cole Nelson in the backfield.
Excellent job by Nelson, coming really crashing down the backside. This is a wide zone player, a zone play to the left side, and he's coming off of the offside and makes the play for a tackle for loss.
Mike Elko and Riley Leonard managing the clock here. 2nd and 11. Leonard with plenty of time, throws high, and it's incomplete. Ruled out of bounds. If that throw was on the number 5, probably would have been complete.
Yeah, and give maybe the underneath coverage here from Virginia Tech a little bit of credit. Riley Leonard had to throw the ball over the top of the coverage. Calhoun elevates, trying to get that right foot on the ground, and just couldn't keep the right foot off the ground. He might have gotten it if he'd just been able to touch the left foot, but Right foot came down early. Coach Elko out on the field. He wants them to take a look at it again. He's actually out by the numbers talking to the official.
Replay booth does not buzz down. 3rd and 11. Pressure coming. And it's incomplete. Armani Chapman in the coverage, looking again for Calhoun. And if they decide to kick a field goal here, it'd be about a 45-yarder.
Well, Chapman does a good job of camping again on the back shoulder throw. This is a very similar one that Delaney picked up earlier in the game, down near the 5-yard line or inside the 5. But Chapman, really good job of camping on that back shoulder and not allowing him to steal one there with the back shoulder throw.
In high school, Polino hit a 52-yarder. But this is the longest kick for the 18-year-old as a college football player. Polino missed it. His first miss as a Blue Devil.
Well, we talked about this Virginia Tech defense now. They've given up some yardage, but when you get down near the goal line, they gave up the 1 touchdown in the last drive. But that's now the 3rd time when Duke has gotten inside the 30-yard line. They've been able to stop them and force no points. So give the Hokies credit. They're bending, but only have broken 1 time.
Got to imagine Mike Elko's a little frustrated with what he's seen
Absolutely.
from this first half. They've moved the ball, but the mistakes have really cost him. Kickoff out of bounds, holding penalty on a 65-yard touchdown, and it's just a 3-point lead for the Blue Devils as Jalen Holston scampers up the middle, and he picks up 10 yards, which stops the clock, moves the chains. Clock back running. Hokies do have all 3 timeouts here. Keep it on the ground. Holston makes a man miss, and Brent Pry immediately takes a timeout from the Hokie sideline with 34 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, and I think the first run in this series, Evan, helped precipitate the timeout. Had they gone for a yard or 2, I think he lets the clock run and they settle for a 10-7 halftime. But with the explosive run from Holston, you're out now over the 40-yard line with all your timeouts. There's certainly reasonable time to potentially get yourself in field goal position here.
Opportunity to maybe tack a field goal on and then get the ball to start the second half. We discussed
Louisville team has traveled to Clemson to take on that Clemson Tiger team here later on this afternoon. So I think there's a bunch of coaches that are still in the mix there.
Mac Brown will have his hands full tonight in Winston-Salem. That ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. Big Dwayne Carter shaken up earlier. Good to see him back.
Yeah, he knocks down a completion here because Nick Gallo, the tight end's open along the sideline and probably for a first down. But Carter's going to elevate. You can look through. He's got Gallo, 86, on the sideline, wide open, and Carter elevates and bats the ball away.
Defensive coordinator Rob Smith said Carter has the biggest personality on the defense. He's everything you'd want in a football player. Works hard, smart, unbelievable teammate. 3rd down, across the middle. Jalen Holston will move the chains.
Yeah, and I think he'll take a timeout too here if you're Virginia Tech, and they do.
That's their 2nd timeout. They've got 1 left. They'll have the ball at their own 49.
Looking to try to get the ball to the tight end on a wheel route, decides to check it down to Holston. Holston does a good job of knowing where the sticks are, gets the first down. And so another set of downs with 1 more timeout in your pocket in 25 seconds. So more than enough time here now for Wells and company to get the Hokies in position to try to get 3.
Coming up at halftime, our driven feature focuses on new Duke head coach Mike Elko. Of course, we'll take you around the ACC and all the first half highlights and stats here from Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham. Of course, this is a doubleheader day on your regional sports networks. Another Coastal Division clash coming up at 3:30. Georgia Tech hosting Miami. Dave, I know you're not in the thick of it like you once were, but do you have any thoughts on the Miami Hurricanes and what's going on down there in Coral Gables?
I'm actually shocked at the way the season has gone for Mario Cristobal, coming back home essentially, and all the things he's changed and all those kind of things. It's not gone well. He's had quarterback issues, but I guarantee you they'll be fighting when they take on the Jackets today.
Tom Wormy, James Bates are in Atlanta for the call of that one a little bit later on. Brandon Johnson there in the coverage defensively. It'll be 2nd and 10. 21 seconds here in the half. And the kicking situation for Virginia Tech, you know, Will Ross not starting at kicker today, replaced by Love. Told the Hokies could try something from about 45 yards and in. Wells using his feet right near the stick. For the Duke 42, it's going to be a yard shy of the first down, I think.
Well, you hate when you're down time in the half like this. You don't really like to eat time up getting out of the pocket, but in this situation, Wells does a good job of getting some positive yardage and then getting out of bounds to save the timeout. So even though it's 3rd down, you guys still got an opportunity with the tight end in your pocket, or the timeout in your pocket.
Got a timeout. You need a first down. The tight end, Nick Gallo. Clock will stop. Brent Pry takes a timeout. 7 seconds to go. Hokies ball at the 42. Now from here, it's about a 50-yarder.
And well done by Gallo right here, Evan, because he goes north and south. He could have continued to run across the field, which would have eaten up more time. I think he would have had enough time to get to the far sideline, but he didn't take the chance. He got north and south, got as much as he could, and it's going to be a long field goal, but he gave his team an opportunity.
John Love, the freshman from Spartanburg. Soccer player in high school. Kicker and punter, Spartanburg High School. Has a chance to make a memory in his first opportunity as a college kicker. Brent Pry not going to try and get another 5 yards for him near the sideline. No timeouts left, so anything tackled in bounds would likely end the half. His first career field goal attempt will be officially a 49-yarder to try and tie the game. Good hold, and the kick is short. Lands about 2/3 of the way deep into the end zone.
That didn't have enough in it. It looked like he might have caught it a bit fat. Maybe he hit the ground with his foot a little bit before, but he was probably trying to put a little bit more in that than he's ever put one in before, and just came up a bit short. But good job of giving themselves an opportunity.
1 second remaining on the clock. Would be surprised if we didn't see Duke come out in victory formation here at the end of the first half, and looks like it'll be a kneel down, but you never know. Virginia Tech's ready defensively, but Leonard takes the knee. Interesting half of football, Dave Archer. Duke by 3 at the break.
Yeah, and you almost wonder which guy feels better about it. A lot of times the road team, if they were able to snuff out a team that can move the football, put points on the board like Duke has, maybe Brent Pry feels a little bit better about it, but I'm not sure either one of them are necessarily going in the locker room excited about how they're off.
Depiction of where the Hokies are right now.
Well, he's trying to build something. He knows what it looks like. He's coached with guys that have done it. Frank Beamer, he was a GA with Frank Beamer. He coached and was been around Bud Foster. Bud's still around the program as well. And those two guys were as good as it gets in college football history, so he knows what it's supposed to look like and how it's supposed to feel. And he wants his team to feel that. And they've done some of those things here in the first half. I thought he wanted a little bit more offense. Let's see what he gets.
Touchback off the foot of Todd Polino, so Wells and company will start for the 25. You know, Brent Pry is coaching college football for his 4th decade. This is his 31st year coaching, his first year as a head coach. Certainly decided to stay in the family business. His dad coached football for about 40 years, including a short stint here at Duke.
Well, it was fun to talk to Coach Pry yesterday, and he's got a great reverence for Bud Foster. I've mentioned it a couple times, as do I. I think he's one of the great men that I've had a chance to talk to, and cool guys that I have a chance to talk to in my career, who's part of this Hokie lore forever.
First play of the second half from scrimmage. Jalen Holston scamper for about 6 yards. And Brent Pry said it's nice to have Bud Foster a couple floors upstairs. Still has an office in Blacksburg.
Yeah, good start here for Virginia Tech. Come right at you and do something physical with the run game. Holston had a big run right at the end of the half, has another one here to start the second half.
2nd and 4 for the Hokies. And Wells with a long throw, and he didn't get it there. Incomplete, looking for Lofton.
That's, you got footwork-wise, you see Lofton bang his hands together. He knew he had an opportunity. Corner was playing off. Wells got to get his feet around. That's a quick one. It's a quick throw. Whenever you're throwing the quick game out of the gun, to get the ball seated and get it out there, especially the wide side of the field, is a challenge.
Important early third quarter, 3rd down for both teams.
Well, certainly for Virginia Tech, because they only had the ball for about 9 minutes in the first quarter, the first half. They're looking to possess the ball a little bit more.
1st down right at the 35-yard line, complete to Daquan Wright, the true freshman tight end from Perry, Georgia.
I'll give the youngster credit. He got to the sticks. He just barely got to the sticks, but he got to the sticks. Good job in the slot. He runs a stick route, which is just a hitch route for the tight end or a player in the slot. He does a good job there, and he didn't lose any ground. So good job by the young tight end to get the 1st down.
This is Tucker Holloway, his first touch on the offense today.
Well, really good job by Duke to pursue and get outside, trying to test the Duke perimeter defense here. That counts as a throw. It's not a handoff. It's a completion. But look how many blue jerseys are outside the numbers to make that play. Excellent pursuit by the Duke defense.
First career catch for Holloway. And that throw airmailed. After he was short to Lofton on the right, he skies to over his head to the left.
Yeah, kind of a sketchy start here for Grant Wells. It started great in the first half, had the long touchdown, but he hasn't had the ball very much, so he really hasn't gotten any kind of rhythm. And those 2 throws would be an indicator, short and overthrown.
3rd and 7. Holston in the backfield with Wells.
Duke showing pressure and man coverage. Here they come.
Looking towards Caleb Smith, and they were not on the same page. Smith came back for the ball as it soared way over everything. Darius Joyner in the coverage, and the Hokies punt unit is coming on.
Well, Rob Smith has done a really good job of calling different pressures here. This one comes clean off of Wells' right, the Duke defensive left, and it's secondary defenders that are creating the problem. We've mentioned the name of Brandon Johnson a couple times. That time it's Darius Joyner who's in around the quarterback. So those secondary guys are creating a problem in the passing game for Virginia Tech.
Calhoun awaiting the punt from Moore. And it's the short returner that bailed from the line of scrimmage that went to go catch the punt. There's a flag down. Samir Hagens looked like he was going to go defend the gunner, and then he raced back anticipating a short punt. You don't see that very often.
No, and he did it in traffic too, but this is probably going to be a late hit.
Personal foul targeting kicking team number 13. 15-yard penalty, 1st down. The previous play is under further review.
Is that the young tight end that just made a play? Daquan Wright just made a catch on 3rd down, playing special teams.
Well, we will check the status after the quick break. 13-14 to go in the 3rd. Well, moments ago, the referee, Jerry Magdalenas, said no targeting on Virginia Tech's number 13, Nyquil Hawkins.
Yeah, you can see that he comes in, and there is helmet-to-helmet contact right at the back end of this, right there. Yeah, I don't know what they were looking for. He certainly being lowered, it's always difficult for a defender, but no targeting on Nyquil Hawkins.
Virginia Tech picks up 1 first down, then punts. First possession of the second half for the Blue Devils. And it begins with a completion to Jordan Moore out to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, Duke has moved the football. We documented that at halftime, looking at the numbers. They held the ball for almost 21 minutes. And Leonard has been good, but they have short-circuited down close to the goal line.
Interception in the red zone, also one missed field goal. That ball deflected and nearly intercepted at the line of scrimmage. Alan Tisdale was thinking 6.
Looked like Tisdale and Hollifield had a chance to potentially end up with this one. Hollifield actually is the guy that gets it with the left hand, and it almost bounds into Tisdale's hand. So the two linebackers almost did the little double dip there.
Including today, those two guys have played 99 college football games between them.
Oh, what a catch.
Yes, indeed. Jordan Moore across midfield.
This is a big-time grab. Got pressure coming from his right, does Riley Leonard. He stands in there, and this ball's thrown behind, but what a grab by Moore to reel that one in. Phenomenal catch.
As a quarterback, you know that throw is behind him when it left the hands, and you're just appreciative of the receiver for making the play.
And to be, quite frankly, to be a good football team, you got to make those kind of plays, albeit a superior play right there by Moore.
Second catch of the day for Moore, keeping his streak going. Multiple catches in every game this year. Short to the tight end, Dal Mullen for 3 or 4.
Boy, he actually has Moore on a wheel route again, and there's nobody around him, but he dumps the ball off here as we have a Virginia Tech player banged up and still on the ground.
The Frenchman, Wilfred Penet. University, the Blue Devils. Tight end Nicky Dalmolin was a little shaken up after the play. He walked off the field, as did Penet, who was down for Virginia Tech. This is the spot of the field, Dave Archer, where Duke has not been as efficient as they've been on the other part of the field.
Yeah, and in all actuality, on the last play, Riley Leonard had his friend Jordan Moore wide open along the sideline and just did not throw it to him. I don't know why he didn't, but he swiveled his head back inside and got a 4-yard gain as he dropped it off to Dalmolin. But so maybe you got to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves.
Second down and 7 for the Duke Blue Devil offense. It's Waters with a hole. Waters delivering the hit into the secondary. Down to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 14.
Yeah, zone read play here. Watch him read the edge. Edge is wide, so he hands it off. Does Riley Leonard to his big running back, Waters, and Waters tries to deliver him low on the back end of that, but a first down.
Collision between Waters and Nasir Peoples downfield. Spotted at the 26. 4 minutes gone here in the second half.
Virginia Tech checking out of what they had. They were in zone. Now they're man to check to a zone here.
Which leaves the wide open man, Samir Hagans. The flat to the left. Solid first down play with the lane bringing him down.
Well, and that's the chess match, right? You get a call from the sideline, you change offensively, then defense tries to change. Good play by the youngster. Saw him have an interception earlier, but he gets a tackle there on the outside and pushes it to second down. This area here, to me, is where Duke is short-circuited the most, and where you frankly give Georgia Tech credit, or I mean, give Virginia Tech credit, because the way Virginia Tech has risen up here in the red zone.
Second and short for Riley Leonard. The sun shining again. Waters should have the first down to the 16. They will move the chains. It is a first down for Duke. And we are now in the red zone, brought to you by CPI Security.
Yeah, big Justin Pickett still out on the ground, the right guard. So this has been a physical battle, low-scoring physical battle. And these two teams getting after each other, but we're starting to see some guys go down a little bit. You wonder if this might be is this a cramp issue? Looks more like a cramp issue than anything else. It is really warm along the sideline, much warmer than I anticipated it being this weekend. Been a kind of a cell that's come through this area. Had some tornado warnings here yesterday, but extremely warm, and I think these guys are feeling some of that with trying to pump the fluids back into the body.
Justin Pickett making his first career start. He's gotten a good bit of playing time off the bench the past few weeks, but taking over at right guard for Jacob Monk, who suffered the season-ending lower leg injury last week. So Duke into the CPI security red zone. This is their 4th trip to the red zone. They're 1 for 3 so far. Waters to the 10, flag flies. They might not be in the CPI security red zone after we see the result of the flag.
Holding offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty, first down.
This is a conversation I think Brent Pry was having with the officials throughout the first half. It felt like maybe they'd gotten away with a couple of grabs.
And this is the Holy Cross transfer, Brian Foley, who just came in at right guard for Justin Pickett, who was shaken up.
Yeah, pretty clear cut there. Working against the big guy, Fuga. Joshua Fuga, 305, 310 pounds. By this time of the season, maybe a little bigger than that.
Depends what he had for breakfast. So they were at the 16. They were at the 10 after that play, but instead 1st and 20 from the 26. Leonard deep, incomplete.
Yeah, and Riley's just late with the throw here. He makes the right decision. He's got Higgins running in the seam, and he's open early. Higgins, 85, right now needs to get the ball, but he waits, and now Connor has the ability to come over from the free safety spot. When you got a single high safety and you're running guys up the seam, that has to be a short throw in that hole, and a little bit too long by the young quarterback and allowed Connor to get back in there and potentially steal it.
Dave, that was sharp analysis. Is that something as a quarterback you realize in the moment, oh, I was too late, or will Leonard not see that until film?
No, well, I think he knows now. I think that he's come a long way. He might not have known last year at this time.
Right. Wide open man, Robertson to the 10, to the 7. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Peoples pushed him out of bounds.
Wow, Robertson, that's a pretty good play by Robertson to go get the first down here. This is essentially just an auxiliary throw to the flat. And Roberts, look at him drop the shoulder and muscle his way for a first down. I don't think that's necessarily something Brent Pry is going to be excited about. Let's come up and hit somebody, put him on the ground.
19 yards, but it was 2nd and 20. So 3rd and 1 for the Blue Devils.
Long one, yep.
From the 7. Coleman to the right of Leonard. Takes the football into the crowd, pushes the pack. And that will set up 1st and goal at the 5 for Duke.
Well, once again, this Virginia Tech defense has been on the field a long time. They were on the field for almost 21 minutes in the first half, and this is a long drive again by Duke. Kevin Johns' team has executed extremely well. Other than the holding penalty, have done a nice job of, the old adage, you put enough first downs together, the goal line's going to hit you in the face.
Duke has enjoyed having Jalen Coleman back on the field today. Been practicing for about a month, but wasn't always ready to go at game day.
Got to have eyes on Leonard here.
Yes, you do. He's going to run it himself to the left. Leonard to the 2, to the end zone, touchdown! 5-yard run from Riley Leonard to extend the Duke lead.
Well, you cleaned it out for Leonard. Little pulled 2 guys out in front, and Leonard, who runs as physical as anybody does at the quarterback spot, 215-pounder, elevates and finishes. And finally, Duke closes out a drive. Evan had mentioned they'd been there 3 times, had 1 touchdown in the first half, but that one was with emphasis to finish with a run touchdown. They'd rushed for 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games. They get a rushing one here.
Polino tacks on the extra point. Heck of a drive from the Duke Blue Devils. 11 plays, 62 yards, and Leonard takes it in his 10th rushing score of the year. The red zone, it paid off.
Well, and he said yesterday, we talked to him about it, and we mentioned, hey, what are your thoughts on learning how to run? Because the game changes if you get hurt. And he says, well, if we get in short yardage or I'm near the goal line, all bets are off.
Now, how will the Hokies respond here midway through this third quarter? From the 1-yard line, Cole Beck to the 20, to the 25. Pretty good coverage from Duke. Special teams tackle from Joshua Pickett.
Well, this feels, Evan, a lot like Tyler Bowen, the offensive coordinator here. They've got to get something going, because you almost feel like the bow's starting to break now on Virginia Tech's defense, because the Virginia Tech defense has been out there a long time.
Yeah.
This has got to be a scenario where Grant Wells possesses the football, obviously going out to get points.
Time of possession right now, 26 minutes to 11 minutes. As the Hokies begin this drive with a good, strong Keyshawn King push of about 9 yards.
Yeah, that's a great start in the run game.
After that run, Dave, the Hokies now have more running yards as a team than Riley Leonard, but before that run, Leonard had outrushed the Hokies individually. Back to King. Good move to the outside and out of bounds to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, two good perimeter runs here by Virginia Tech, and now all of a sudden they're out near midfield. This is just King feeling it. See, he's going to probe the inside, and now he's going to bounce it. Nice little setup move right there on the safety Johnson, and then got to the outside with the speed. This is a kid that has home run ability. Good run there to get another first down.
Official that spotted the football docked him a yard. They spotted the 46. Replay showed he clearly got to the 47. It's all in the details.
Yeah, no, well, I'm sure Coach Fry would appreciate you calling down and getting that reviewed.
Now we're out to the 48 after a 2-yard pickup. There's Tyler Bowen, first-year offensive coordinator, working with Brent Price, the tight ends coach as well. Wells looking to throw. 4 receivers in the route. He'll take it himself. Big sliding gain for Grant Wells.
Yeah, good decision here by Wells. He's had some blips on the radar where he hasn't been as accurate as he needed to be. Well, he didn't even worry about that. He just pulls it down and takes off. And good decision to get upfield.
Wells back to the air and hits the diving Dewan Lofton.
And it's amazing what some first downs will do for your tempo. Virginia Tech playing at a little bit faster pace now. And I think the reason is obviously first downs, but they want to change the pace for this Duke defense that's been able to get them off the field most of the game.
Wells hit in the backfield by Shaka Heyward.
So what does Rob Smith do defensively? He dials up pressure. Middle linebacker coming. You've got a secondary member around the line of scrimmage. Get more people around the line of scrimmage. 42, Shaka Heyward blitzes through. Plays off the block of Gallo. That might have been a play that Wells looks back on tape and says, I should have handed that ball off.
Loss of 2. 2nd and 12. Holston. Inside the 25 to the 24.
Nice feel for Holston here, too. Just kind of pushes it, and there's enough push up the field by Virginia Tech up front that he's able to slide back into a cutback hole, and now you're back to a manageable third down here. Now, this is where Duke has had a lot of success bringing pressure. They're not showing pressure at the snap here.
Wells up the middle himself. The type of play that says we're going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, absolutely, no question. Yeah, they're definitely going for it in that situation.
So from 3rd and 7 to 4th and 3.
Duke with wholesale changes to get some players in the game that can defend both run and pass, but you know, Wells still an option here. But this is where, like I said, this is where Duke spot pressure. And they're looking to do it again, coming off the slot.
Passing up an opportunity, a 38-yard field goal. Going for it on 4th and 4.
Look down at the bottom of the screen. Pressure coming off the slot.
Pressure coming, big time. Throw to the end zone, incomplete. Caleb Smith can't make the crazy catch. And the Blue Devils will take over on downs.
And I can assure you that is not where Tyler Bowen wanted the ball from. It's the lowest percentage throw in the book to throw the fade route. He's looking for someone just to get the first down. This is a difficult shot. Had his hands on it, so hey, reel it in if you can, but low percentage throw here on 4th and 3.
Duke's defense comes up with a stop. Wells and the Hokies march to the 21-yard line, but give it away. 4 minutes to go in the third. Duke back on offense with Riley Leonard, who's over 200 yards passing on the day. Pressure coming. He still got rid of it and took a huge hit. Keontae Jenkins drilled him. And Jenkins shaken up after the collision.
Boy, he held on to this ball for a long time, and I thought that somebody's just going to get down, but Jenkins comes in and drills him coming out off that linebacker blitz. Looks like he's okay. Dangerous throw out into the left flat, but incomplete.
Surprising that Jenkins took the worst of it there, but Leonard kind of landed right on Jenkins' midsection.
Now, Leonard, 6'4", 215 pounds. He's the same size as Jenkins, is 6'3". So he's actually given up a little bit, 6'3", 214 pounds. So he's given a pound up and an inch.
Not too many quarterbacks have the mindset, if you hit me, it's going to hurt for you. Nowhere to go this time for Jordan Waters. He lost a yard back to the 20. Be sure to stick with us after the third quarter for the fourth. Brought to you by CPI Security.
One of our impact players, Tywan Garbett, makes a nice play there against the run. Talked about him defending the edge. He did a nice job there to force 3rd and long. Now, Virginia Tech has always been a very aggressive, get-after-you team. They've shown some 3-man rush this game, and it has not turned out very good for them. Let's see if they pressure.
You're Riley Leonard here. Just don't make a mistake.
Here comes the pressure.
Pressure's coming. Deep ball in the air. Jalen Calhoun can't make the catch.
Wow, ball thrown just a little bit underthrown. But this is a heck of a play by Chapman, I think, with the right hand. Let's look at the pressure. They're coming with extra players. Leonard throws the fade. Does Chapman get his hand in too early? Watch the right hand of Chapman. And it did. He got in on that left shoulder a little bit early on Higgins. Higgins, that guy we thought you'd have a chance to make a big play with. And Chapman might have got away with one there.
Duke fans just saw the replay on the video board. Opportunity perhaps for Tucker Holloway, the 90-yard return touchdown last week. A chance? No, fair catch from the 21.
Boy, what a good punt.
Yes, tremendous punt right there. 57 yards, no return.
Yeah, that's a heck of a flip of the field by Wilson right there. Excellent punt. I think Virginia Tech returns to the field as an offense. You got to come back with some excitement. You were able to move the football. Now, you didn't finish it, but you moved the ball as well as you have all year from between, or I'm sorry, in this game from 20 to 20.
Hokies back on offense. Keyshawn King spun down after a pickup of 4. And we'll pause for a quick message from Works Nitro.
Meet Works Nitro. Powerful tools for any project with gas-like power without the gas. Fueled by PowerShare batteries to give you the power to outperform.
King barely gets around his left guard, Jesse Hansen, to pick up 1. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Let's go down to the sidelines with Rebecca.
Well, redshirt junior running back Keyshawn King is listed at 180 pounds right now, but he told me he's already put on 10 pounds this year. He's still trying to put on even more weight. Eventually, he'd like to get in the 200 bracket. I asked him what his go-to to put on weight is. He said peanut butter, jelly sandwiches, and biscuits and gravy is the key to success every day. And specifically, creamy peanut butter, guys, not the crunchy kind.
Sounds good to me.
I can tell you biscuits and gravy will do it for you. I've done that.
Yes, it will. Pressure coming. Wells is down.
Well, again, Duke dials up the pressure. Rob Smith comes with secondary pressure. We mentioned Brandon Johnson around the quarterback, number 30. He's going to come clean again, does a good job of timing it up, and just not enough Hokies to block Blue Devils on this play. And that's something that Wells has to understand. He's got to get the ball out, and they've got to build in some easy throws, some quick throws, because you can bet it's man coverage in the back end.
Second sack of the day for Brandon Johnson. And if he didn't get him, R.J. Oben was right there to take out Wells too. Fair catch called for. Ball lands on the turf. I should say on the grass. Beautiful grass surface here at Wallace Wade Stadium. Out of bounds, Duke ball at the 40.
Well, there's the classic, and I'm going to harken back to the David Cutcliffe days, and it's something that I know Mike Elko employs too, is that hidden yardage in special teams. We talked about it, you know, making a play on the punt going into the end zone. Can you down it? That was a situation where exchange of punts just garnered about 20, 25 yards for Duke, and now Duke has the ball on a shorter field, no worse for the wear. Cutcliffe used to talk about that all the time, the hidden yardage in special teams. Can you get me a first down or two in special teams? Well, Duke just got 2 of them right there in exchange of punts.
Late in this third quarter, you're kind of starting to feel like the Hokies are going to need a defensive play, a turnover, something to change the momentum here. But a strong first running play from Jalen Coleman across midfield to start the drive. A little bit of a late hit. Coleman skirmishing with his here Peoples, and how about Barton, the left tackle, preventing one of his fellow linemen from charging in there and getting a penalty.
Yeah, he had to do a WWE move on Pickett. Pickett was coming in for a little bit, again, pin and pull some guys around. Good running by Coleman to feel it, bounce it to the outside, and then a little bit of extra at the back end here. I think both guys had probably a complaint. Coleman trying to do the little spin around on top of the defender.
That's discipline. Could have been a penalty on Duke for going after the second guy. Leonard sees an opening, turns upfield, dives forward, close to a first down, picks up 9.
A good vision here. He's got pressure coming off of his right, and a good effort. I think a Blue Devil player peeled back to get the blitzer to provide Riley Leonard the opportunity to get up the field. And again, good smart running, not to the sideline, up the field.
Mike Elko.
But they've got the football again, and again, the possession has been 9/10 of the law here today.
Sure has. Great drive on the ground to start this, or to end the third quarter and start the fourth. Coleman, another hole up the middle, picks up 11 more.
Yeah, and you begin to see Duke starting to get a foothold in the run game late second quarter, certainly into the third quarter.
Just because of the time of possession?
Yeah, I think it's really beginning to wear down Virginia Tech up front. They've had to play physical, and then subsequently in the pass game, they've been vulnerable because they got to dedicate a lot of resources to try to get the run stop. So, and Riley Leonard has had some success there. Their biggest defense today has been their ability to stop Duke when they get down close.
Duke at 133 rushing yards right now. They've gone over 200 yards in 6 of their first 9 games this season. Short gain there for Coleman. He's not a guy who would run the ball a whole lot the previous few seasons at Duke. He had 26 carries the last 3 years. But he's been an important guy when he's been healthy.
Well, and it's been good to be able to have the versatility to put a lot of guys in. I mean, Jacquez Moore, who got hurt early in the game, had 58 carries coming in. Coleman, 58. Jordan Waters, 94. Of course, Riley Leonard's their leading rusher with 91 carries. I mean, they've been able to get a lot of guys involved.
Gone back and forth today between playing under the sun and playing under an overcast sky. Sun kind of got covered by a cloud as that ball was getting handed off.
Duke has done a really good job, Evan, of cutting off whatever penetration was happening in the first quarter. Mike Elko's team really kind of made some nice adjustments, or certainly dialed the players in to let's make sure we're not getting any penetration. So the backs like Waters and Moore, these guys have all been able to be patient at the line of scrimmage, let things develop, and then slide. And now they're at third and medium here with an opportunity to convert.
Duke needs 5 yards for the first down. Waters did not get there. Barely to the line of scrimmage.
Not a very good read. If it was a zone, in fact, a full zone read, this might have just been a straight handoff, and Riley carried out the fake off of it, Riley Leonard. But that was a play where you got a run stunt right there from Virginia Tech, where both linebackers gassed the middle of the defense, and there weren't enough players to block how many Hokies were in the hole.
We saw Polino miss from 45 earlier. So on 4th and 5. From the 24-yard line, Duke's going to pass up the 41-yard attempt and keep it in the hands of the sophomore from Fairhope, Alabama.
Virginia Tech having a tough time getting lined up here, playing man coverage.
4th down, Riley Leonard. Oh, what a catch! Jordan Moore moves the chains, the play of the day.
Moore with another highlight grab. Remember, he had the one on the deep end cut earlier in the game. Behind him, how about this one? This is a one-handed stab. Virginia Tech coming, it's man coverage. How about this catch by Jordan Moore? Wow, highlight tape today. What a grab.
Made it look routine. Picks up 17 yards on the 4th down.
I don't think he ever put his right hand on the ball. He just reeled it in and just kept right on going. Heck of a play.
Clutch snag, his 3rd grab of the day. Jordan Moore sets up 1st and goal from the 6. Will Leonard again keep it himself?
He's got man coverage on the outside.
Throw into the corner. Touchdown, Blue Devils. John Tavis Robertson with his first career score.
Here's the Moore catch earlier that got you in position to throw the touchdown pass, and Riley Leonard was excited about his good friend reeling one. Look at him shaking his head. Wow, that was not a very good throw, he's saying to himself. What a play. Sometimes all it does on the stat book is looks like a 25-yard play, but in all actuality, guy just bailed you out.
Polino tacks on the extra point. That's 24 unanswered for the Blue Devils. The sophomore from the Sunshine State, John Tavis Robertson, his first career touchdown. The Duke fans enjoying themselves here at Wallace Wade. 24 straight points after the Hokies scored early in the first quarter. And John Tavis Robertson with a catch he'll never forget. Let's check out the drive presented by Defender.
Yeah, you got some run game. Coleman pounds one through the middle. An outstanding job there. How about this catch by Jordan? Amazing grab, reels it in, gets inside the 5-yard line. And then Riley Leonard with a payoff to John Tavis Robertson for the touchdown. Probably already is, but they've got a chance to do some real damage here in the last couple of games.
Oh, big hit at the 25-yard line.
Wow. Trent Broadnax, the freshman from Savannah, Georgia, brought the noise on this one. Boom. What a shot.
Boom.
All 3 phases of the game playing at a high level for Duke right now.
Blue Devils will face Wake Forest 2 weeks from now. But they'll be Wake Forest fans tonight when the Deacons take on the Tar Heels. Duke still with an outside shot at the Coastal Division if Carolina can take a few losses here down the stretch. There's Tucker Holloway's second catch of the day. His first was the short flip. This is the more traditional completion. Rivers brings down the freshman Holloway.
I mentioned in our piece there at the turn of the quarter, we talked about the standings. Drake May, to me, has played as good a quarterback as anybody in the country. I think that the young kid has got a chance to be a star, and he's got the Tar Heels poised to do some damage.
Big play for the Hokies down the sideline. It's Holston out of the backfield to the Duke 48-yard line.
Yeah, good quick decision by Wells. He's really quick, get the ball out. Now you got Holston down the sideline. He's got a chance to turn and run with it, and he finishes the run as well. Nice physical finish by Holston, the senior.
Wells back to the air, back to Holston. Couldn't bring it in this time.
Yeah, a little late on the throw. You know, Duke's going to try to take away those shots down the field, so take advantage of his catch and run. You did the first time. That one a little bit on his zone. Now we've seen him have success with pressure, but not showing that here.
Grant Wells, he sensed the rush coming from Vincent Anthony. Gets out of the pocket and gets rid of it. Wells with eyes in the back of his head right there.
Yeah, the freshman B.J. Anthony coming off the edge from Durham, North Carolina, right here. Local kid, Jordan High School. And boy, he had one lined up. I'll bet his eyes are as big as dinner plates right here. He thought, I got one. And it slipped right by him. But nice year for him. He's got this is his 10th start as a freshman right here from Durham, North Carolina.
And yet he's looking for his first sack.
Yes,
so as you said, he was hunting it. Early enrollee.
6'6", 240. Good-looking kid, man.
Coach Smith said he really changed his body from high school senior to college freshman. Holston brought down by his number 0 counterpart on the other side, Chandler Rivers, after a gain of 6.
Holston's had a number of good runs here. Light at the end of the first half, had a couple good runs, and he's done a nice job here in the second half. He's given him a little bit of a charge in the backfield. That was a nice bounce there to get this to 4th and 4.
Hokies stopped on 4th down in the 3rd quarter.
Well, here comes Duke again. Let's see if they check out of it. But it looked like Darius Joyner, the safety, number 1, was creeping up. In fact, Virginia Tech changed their play because of it.
Receivers come bunched together. Wells still to throw. Wells looking for some daylight. Wells just throws up a prayer. It's popped up and intercepted. Shaka Heyward has the pick for the Blue Devil defense.
Yeah, really all he could do here, Evan, because the pressure again had gotten to him. And he had to get out of the pocket, and he's going the worst way you could possibly go for a right-handed quarterback. He's going against his arm, but he knows it's 4th down, so he's got to get the ball out. The ball's picked off, but hey, he's going to get tackled out of bounds 20 yards further upfield than that. He knew he had to get the ball out. It was really all he had a chance to do. But Duke has had so much success. Rob Smith, the defensive coordinator, they've had a lot of success with secondary pressure. Defenders coming off the edge or through the middle from their secondary has really caused Virginia Tech problems.
3rd career interception for Shaka Heyward. And Grant Wells just trying to make a play on 4th down.
Absolutely. That's all he can do. He can't eat the football there because it's 4th down. Just put somebody up the bat. Maybe the ball gets tipped, and the ball got tipped on that play. Could have very easily ended up in a Hokies' hands, but it ended up being a Duke player that came down with it. So, and Shaka Heyward, it gets the interception.
Dave, that's the 21st turnover created by the Duke defense this season here in game number 10 of the year.
They've done, and it's the pressure that they apply and how they come with it from different angles, really hard to sort out.
See if Duke keeps it on the ground here. They will. Out to the 39-yard line. Will set up 3rd and 3. Coleman with his 11th carry of the day.
And these look like straight run calls and it looks like Riley's running the zone read. There may be a mandate from Mike Elko, who do not have 13 run the ball now. We're going to win this football game. Do not allow the quarterback to run the ball. Have him hand it off. So they may be calling straight run here and letting these running backs carry the load.
Mike Elko will bring his Blue Devils up to the Steel City next Saturday. Duke Pitt, interesting matchup.
Yeah, it's never easy to go in there either. Pat Narduzzi's team They're physical. They want to get after you. It hadn't been a great year for them, but still, it's what they do.
Absorbing the contact, Jordan Waters just keeps going and picks up 5 on 3rd and 3 for another Duke first down.
Look at the run play here. The physicality. It's a really good job of blocking on the back end right there. Tight end Cole Finney, number 82. Really good job on the backside to give Waters a place to slide in that backside cutback. Really good job by the tight end. That's something that Duke has always done as well, too. They had tight ends that are multifaceted guys. Catch the ball and will also block you.
Waters again into the crowd. Carries the pile after the whistle blew. 2-yard gain officially.
Now it's tough, you know, and this will be the continued battle that Coach Pry has to fight through. He talked to Rebecca at halftime. He says, hey, we're trying to earn some respect here. We want to teach ourselves what good football is all about, and he's right. They showed flashes in the game. Their red zone defense was outstanding in this football game for the most part. But the defense just on the field too much, just not enough from the offense, and they're continuing to search to find those answers that are going to make the Hokies who they've always been. One of the great programs in college football history. Just been a little bit lean for them the last couple of years.
Over the last 2 decades, only Ohio State, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Alabama have a better road winning percentage than Virginia Tech. But as you said, times are lean as we go down to the sideline with Rebecca.
Well, you guys mentioned the physicality, and one of the first hires for Mike Elko was his strength and conditioning coach, David Feely. He felt like it was the most important hire. He said a lot of people asked him who was going to be his OC. Well, he wanted to know who was going to be his strength and conditioning. And the guys have bought into his program, bought into working hard in the weight room, working hard on the practice field, and he's been a big part of the success that they're having.
And one of the unsung heroes of every football program is Leonard throws downfield. A flag flies as Jontavis Robertson makes the contested catch.
This is an unbelievable grab. I mean, you talk about throwing it to a covered guy. This is the definition of throwing to a guy covered.
Defense, number 1. Penalties decline. First down.
I'm not sure he actually came down in bounds. Let's see if he catches this. He certainly catches the ball. And it's hard to tell if that right foot came down in bounds.
Goes the 28-yard play for the moment.
Yeah, heck of a grab. Obviously they saw enough of it. They like it. Heck of a catch by Robertson. He caught a touchdown here just a few minutes ago, and that wasn't an easy catch. That was even more difficult there on the sideline.
Easily the best game of the year for Jontavis Robertson. They're finding something in this sophomore. Leonard keeping it, and he will slide down inside the 20. He'll actually mark it right at the 20.
Well, you talk about strength and conditioning, and Rebecca talked about that with our discussion with Mike Elko. You can see it. You can see what he's done. And we talked to Darius Joyner. Darius came from Western Illinois, and I'm sure they had strength and conditioning, but they didn't have it to the level that this guy provided. He said, I showed up. He said, I'd never seen anything like it before. I had to kind of get used to it. I had to buy into it. Well, he did. He's the leading tackler on this team, and you can see it in their offensive line, their defensive line. They're stout, they're tough, and he's made a difference, no question.
False start, Jalen Calhoun, top of the formation.
I just thought that...
False start, offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Darius Joyner's facial expression when he talked about the strength and conditioning. We asked him, or Rebecca asked him about it in our pre-broadcast meetings yesterday, and his facial expression about, wow, I had no idea that you do that at this level. But he was one of those guys that had to buy in, right? Coming in from another place, of course, with the rest of the guys that are here, but it's certainly paying dividends.
It's a rude awakening that a lot of high school kids realize when they get to big level college ball.
No question, no question. A weight room, where's that?
Clock ticks, under 4 minutes to play. And a short gain on second down for Duke.
Well, you know what? Impressive performance today by the Blue Devils. They came in as the team that was favored. Certainly, they've got 6 wins under their belt. But to absorb the first bit of the game, they go 3 and out. Obviously had an idea of they were going to attack this Hokie defense in the passing game. It didn't work out at all. In fact, it was an epic fail the first 3 plays. And then Grant Wells throws a 53-yard touchdown pass, and you'd say, wait a minute. But they did not bat an eye. They got back to doing what they've been doing all year long, running the ball, and Riley Leonard making plays.
On 3rd and long, it's Jalen Coleman scurrying to the 21. Dave, here's a nugget for you. The Duke Blue Devils have had 5 different drives today that have been 4 minutes 56 seconds or longer.
So essentially 5 minutes or longer,
basically
right?
5 drives of 5 minutes or more.
Well, and that wears the defense down, no question. But think about the condition. We just talk about strength and conditioning. Think about the strength and conditioning of those guys up front. Those big dudes up front are getting tired too, but they're still banging and getting after it. And that says a lot about what they've done here with that transition of having guys more conditioned, more ready to play at this time of the game.
Elko lets the play clock run down, takes a timeout. We'll take it 2. We'll see whether he goes for it on 4th and 10 or whether they take the field goal up by 17. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, they were good too. You know, they want to be perfect, so they've got that target, which would happen to be the D in the middle of Wallace Wade Stadium here, right? They all hit it. They were dead on. They just jumped about 4 miles up in the air and came down. Phenomenal effort.
Duke Blue Devils have had a pretty fine effort today as well. 24 straight points after falling behind 7-0 early. Offensively, defensively, special teams. This drive's over 7 minutes long right now. And the Blue Devils are going for it on 4th and 10. 2 for 2 on 4th down today. Leonard's going to keep it, and he's going to come up short.
Yeah, I was a little surprised there, Evan, that they didn't let the kicker come in and kick it. You know, just give him an opportunity to go knock one through.
I was a little surprised as well, especially missed one earlier. Chance to pick up some confidence in a low leverage spot. 2:23 to go here in Durham. Hey, getting a sweet revenge today, Dave Archer.
Well, he talked about how much he's learned and how much he's willing to learn. Here's the touchdown to Dalmolin in the first half. And, of course, his power and ability to run the football adds to his touchdown total. Now 10 rushing touchdowns. Of course, this on-target throw, excellent catch by Robertson in the end zone. But he made a lot of plays throughout the game, did a good job of taking care of the football other than one mistake down in the red zone. Dude's infectious, man. He came in the meeting room, and he has a smile on his face, and he's just happy to be here, yet he knows he's got a chance to be pretty good. I don't think he does anything other than smile or laugh. It's funny, but fun guy to be around.
He's built tough, brought to you by Wrangler. His 11th career start today. He's about to be 7-4, barring something really crazy in the next 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Especially with the Hokies keeping the ball on the ground with Keyshawn King. I beg your pardon, that's Bryce Duke getting his first touch of the day.
Yeah, freshman from Leesburg, Virginia. This is a dude in 2021 at Tuscarora High School. I probably said that wrong. 2,800 rushing yards and 36 touchdowns for this young man in high school last year.
You see the potential. Bolting up the middle, but the clock is the enemy of the Hokies right now. And look, we've seen some guts from Virginia Tech the past few weeks. We've seen some glimpses, and yet the back-to-back one-point losses, first time that's happened since 1969. And with today, it's going to be the 7th consecutive loss, and that hasn't happened for Virginia Tech football in 71 years.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for firsts and things like that, and whenever that's why you change coaches, because you gotta fight through some of that. You got to get some new stuff going. I think Brent Pryce headed that direction. They lost 4. They had 4 games where they had 4-quarter leads and lost the game. So that's a thing they have to work through. So I know the record looks like, you know, you're not very close. That's not true. This team is a lot closer than some of the scores or the record would indicate, because he certainly, some of those games could go your direction, and you find a way to win some of those games. That's what he's trying to do, is get these guys to believe in what they're doing for 4 quarters, not for, and we saw it here. Yeah. We saw a good bit of things that they could do. They got to be able to do it for 4 quarters, and that's what he's trying to pound into them.
Headset is off for Brent Pry, who's going to drop to 2-8 in his first year in Blacksburg. Wells completes it for Holloway. Nice catch. Out of bounds right at midfield. Now a quick message from Wrangler.
It's in all of us.
"19 seconds left, separating Duke from another impressive victory. And you could play the what-if game for the Blue Devils. The back-to-back three-point losses that they suffered in overtime against Georgia Tech. A really tough offensive pass interference call hurt the Carolina game. Mike Elko thought they had it. But through the adversity, Duke has continued to grind, and today a mighty, impressive 24-7 victory over Virginia Tech. The Duke Blue Devils are 7-3. An incredible turnaround season continues today at Wallace Wade Stadium.